Hi, my name is Madeline Lee. I'm a counselor at Harvest Park Middle School, and today I will be attempting to answer the question, my child is failing many or all of their classes. How can I help as a parent or a guardian? We'll be covering ways to stay informed as a parent or guardian, communication with you and your student, with you and your teachers, and with you and your counselor. Lastly, we'll talk about some tips for good studying habits, such as utilizing your student's organizer or planner and creating a study space at home. One of the best ways to stay informed as a parent or guardian is to utilize the Google Classroom weekly summary. One easy way to sign up for the weekly summary would be to email your teachers and let them know that you would like to receive weekly summaries for Google Classroom. Once one teacher inputs your email address, it'll be likely that you'll be receiving summaries for all of your other students' classrooms in Google Classroom as well. The slide will be made available to you so you can utilize some links, helpful links on this slide to learn more about Google Classroom. One of the links here is to show you a bit about the To-Do tab. The To-Do tab is on Google Classroom and it's utilized by a lot of students. There's one tab that I'd like to note on that on the To-Do tab is the Done tab. Anytime your student clicks a Done on an assignment in Google Classroom, the assignment automatically gets assigned to the Done tab in Google Classroom tab. However, if your student does not submit or attach any files under that submission, although it is moved to the Done tab, it doesn't necessarily mean that your student has completed or turned in the assignment. And in your Google Classroom summary, in turn, the summary will say that your student has done that assignment. But you'll notice later on in your Q portal that your student may not necessarily have a grade or have any credit for that specific assignments. Another way to stay informed is to make sure that you monitor your Q Parent portal at least weekly to check in with your student's progress and to make sure that your student is on task. The Q portal shows the inputs of all your students' grade, in the assignments that your students have done. If you haven't signed on to Q Portal before, you can use this link to access the video tutorial to log into the Q Portal. The second part of this is communication. As you're reviewing your Q Portal and your Google Classroom summaries, you will have questions, and when you do, I do encourage that you talk to your student. Ask them about specific assignments that you're curious about. Ask them about challenges that they met in class that may have made it harder for them to submit or do that assignment. When they've expressed that they had questions, encourage them to email their teachers with those questions. If they're stuck and they don't know how to start the email, help them draft the email. In that email, be specific. Ask for clarifications on any assignment that your student has questions on. If the email doesn't work for your student, encourage that your student join their teacher's office hours. One way to do this is to make a weekly schedule for your student and then have your student attend a specific teacher's office hours weekly. So for example, you may have a block teacher that you'd like your student to meet, and their office hours is from 1 to 2 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. You could make a schedule and ask the student to join the office hours at 1:30 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. That way the student can be with the teacher during those hours and have opportunities to ask the questions. Once you've talked to your student and still have further questions or concerns, I encourage you to reach out to your teachers via email. Your teachers' email addresses can be found on Q and on your school's website. In the email, please be specific and please include your student's first and last name as well as their period. Express any concerns that you have or questions that you have clearly so that the teacher can address these questions effectively and efficiently. I also encourage that you set up any virtual or phone call meeting for any further clarifications or to work with the teacher to strategize ways to support your student in the classroom. Once you've taken the step to talk to your student and contacting teachers, and you have further questions or would like to discuss the situation further, please contact your counselors. Your counselor can meet with your students or meet with you or with the teacher to address any academic, emotional, and social concerns. Your counselor can help arrange and facilitate the SST meeting or the Student Success Team meeting. The Student Success Team meeting includes the attendance of your counselor, your admin, your student's teachers, you, as well as the student. It's a great place for all the stakeholders to come together to devise a plan or strategies to support your student in the classroom. Your counselor can also provide outside resources to support your student for any social, emotional, academic needs as well. Now I'm going to cover some quick study habits or tips for your student. The first and foremost thing that all teachers will be talking about and encouraging students to use is an organizer. Now the organizer could be digital, in which the student can use it through a Google document of some sort to keep track of their daily assignment, or it could be the PUSD physical organizer. This is a great video that was made by one of our students, and in there she includes 5 tips as to how to utilize the PUSD planner effectively. Another tip is creating a student workspace at home. A lot of times our students take their Zoom calls on their bed without a desk, or they're doing homework on their bed. And while it all may seem very comfortable, in the long term, it isn't an effective or healthy way to maintain a workspace. We do encourage that you try to separate the student's workspace from their play or relaxing space. So it could be anywhere different other than their bedroom. It could be an office, a dining table, in the kitchen. Now, if the bed is their only sitting space, please try to make sure that they're sitting up and out of the covers so that they're able to maximize their focus and attention. If it's possible, ensure that the working space or their workspace has a chair, a desk, or a table, and that they have access to outlet for keeping their devices charged. Also, if you can try to ensure that the space limits any distraction or predictable challenges for them. This could be done through creating a privacy board so that the student is focusing on the assignment or on the Zoom call rather than being able to look at other distracting items in the room. Keeping any supplies that they need nearby, maybe a pen and pencil, their organizer, anything that they can take notes with. If it's possible, station the workspace near the internet hub so that they can have a stable connection and that their calls don't drop off on Zoom or Google Meet. You can also keep snacks and water nearby for accessibility. These are some examples as to how to create a workspace with limited space in your environment. So as you can see here, the student has a privacy board that has almost everything she needs to function effectively throughout the day and use this as her studying habit, a space. I hope that this information was useful to you. If you have any further questions or would like any further support, I encourage that you contact your student's counselor directly so that they may be able to share any additional resources with you. Thank you.